as well. So what I am going to do first is go in and share my screen for our PowerPoint presentation. So again, this is our family night for July. Can you believe it's the end of July? I certainly cannot. We host these family nights on the last Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So we're so very glad that you can join us for this evening's presentation. What we are going to focus on for this evening's webinar is an overview of the program. Again, that's the video that I was referring to. It's about a 6.5-minute video, gives a comprehensive overview of what you can expect from the program. So it's really great for those of you who are currently enrolled to get some benchmarking on what you can expect from the program. And for those of you who are thinking about it, maybe you're a consultant who's thinking about a different way to talk about this resource with people, or you are someone who's thinking about enrolling their student in this, it gives a really great foundation for you to have that conversation. I'm going to go over some of our grade webinar, some recaps on that. This is a new resource that we have developed and just came out with in June. So want to spend some time talking about that, and that's really a great opportunity to get some more of the nuts and bolts for our individual grades and what they can expect. And it says a preview of July. It should say a preview of August. I was thinking about what month we're currently in when I typed that up. So then we'll talk about some of the resources that we have coming out for our students, kind of exciting around the idea of funding college and thinking about some of that we're going to be doing in August. And then obviously leaving some times for questions and answers. Again, there's going to be a couple of times where I am going to reach out to the collective group, which is you, to get your feedback. Anytime I can get feedback, it really does make it a much more lively webinar for all of us concerned. Lets me know that people are out there, which is always great, and it allows you to interact with one another. So keep on the lookout for a few of those opportunities that I will kind of throw it to all of you. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and we are going to watch this short video. Again, let's make sure that you can actually hear it. If you can't, again, put something in that chat line for me. Let me know that you can't hear it or see it. We've been able to do this pretty well. So here we go.
What is your plan for college? If this question creates some fear, don't worry, you are not alone. Most people feel like this when faced with the questions that come up around creating a plan for college. At the Heartland Institute of Financial Education, we understand what it takes to create a solid plan and to partner with you on the steps to make your educational dream a reality. The cost of attending college has increased significantly over the last decade. In 2018, the average cost of a public in-state school was over $22,000. Additionally, the national average for the time it takes to graduate is 6.5 years. The cost of this 2.5 years of extra tuition, plus the lost wages a student experiences each year they remain in school, is over $180,000. So why does it take an average of 6.5 years to graduate? There are many factors that influence this, and many of them come back to planning. Planning for the right career, the right major, and the right school where students will not only meet their academic goals, but also thrive as a person. Our high school counselors work tirelessly on behalf of our students. Unfortunately, 478 students is the national average for a high school counselor caseload. Our goal at HIFA is not to replace what your high school counselor is doing, but to supplement it with individualized one-on-one coaching. Sounds like both parents and students need to have a plan for the next steps. Don't worry, the Heartland Institute of Financial Education College Coaching Program is here to help you create the plan that will work for you and for your student. There is never as much time as we think, and time is definitely ticking. If you're starting your freshman year of high school, you have 720 days until college. If you're starting your senior year, you only have 180 days. We want to ensure that students use this precious time efficiently so that they can maximize their options and experience. What a student does in high school determines what options they have when they graduate. By starting early, we can really be clear on their goals and coach them into the best position to reach those goals. Although each year has a different and targeted focus, the overall focus of the college coaching program is to support each individual student in making the best decisions for them and ensuring that they are making the best use of both their time and money. The Heartland College Coaching Program is focused on working with each individual student to co-create the right plan for them and to help them navigate the path to complete that plan. We begin our work with the students with the end in mind. Through the use of an empirically tested assessment, students are given career suggestions based on their interests, skills, and work values. These assessments are not meant to limit a student, rather give them an individualized and directed starting point to build their educational plan. Many of the services that we provide include the delivery of monthly recommendations based on age and year in school, assist with high school course planning and selection, research college and university options, unlimited essay reviews for both scholarship and college applications, guidance on gaining valuable hands-on experiences, developing a resume to best reflect those experiences, offer direction on financial funding options available to the student and family, including federal and state funding, individual school aid, and private scholarships, grants, and loans, and the final college or university selection. Our coaching team is truly what sets the Heartland Institute's program apart from others. Although each student is assigned an individual coach, they also benefit from the collective wisdom of our coaching team. Each member of our team have an average of over 20 years of experience, a fully vested interest in getting to know both the parent and the student in order to create the best educational plan for that student, and provide the invaluable one-on-one guidance and support that today's student is looking for. Here are just a few of the amazing results that the students enrolled in the college coaching program have experienced. We reviewed over 2,300 essays for both college applications as well as scholarship applications over the last year. 225 of our college coaching program students were accepted in the top 200 universities in the nation. We had over $16 million that were awarded to our college coaching program students in scholarships money, with an additional $184,000 plus that were awarded through the appeals process. Many of our students received full ride scholarships to schools, including Duke University, UC Berkeley, University of Pennsylvania, and University of Rochester. And 97% of our college coaching program students that were enrolled in the program were accepted into their school of choice. Interested in finding out if you qualify for the college coaching program? Answer these few simple questions to find out. Are you committed to following the instructions and monthly roadmaps that's provided to you from your coach? Are you in the 8th grade, a high school student, a transfer student, or an adult or returning student on an educational journey? If you answered yes to either of these questions, then you are a qualified candidate for this program. It's important to know that you must attend an accredited institution to qualify for federal financial aid, although that does not preclude you from being a part of this program. There's also no minimum or maximum income required to qualify for the program. The enrollment fee for the program is $2,695 for the first year and $500 annual renewal fee for any year after that. The Heartland Institute of Financial Education is a national 501c3 nonprofit organization with the mission to promote financial literacy across America. We wholeheartedly believe that this mission begins with our college coaching program. It is our goal at Heartland to help young Americans obtain a college education and to reduce a family's out-of-pocket cost for that education. For more information about the Heartland College Coaching Program, please contact your local college planning consultant. Feel free to visit us at our website at www.hife-usa.org. Send us an email at hypecpp@hife-usa.org or give us a call at 303-597-0197. At the Heartland Institute of Financial Education, we believe that every student deserves a coach, and we can't wait to begin working with you.
Okay. That is the end of that video. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint, but before I do, I wanted to see what questions I can answer for all of you, either based on that video or maybe some questions or concerns that you had coming into tonight's presentation. What can I answer for you? Please remember that you're muted right now, so you can just go ahead and unmute yourself if you want to ask that out loud, or you can put it in the chat line for me as well. But it usually makes a much more impactful experience for all of you if I'm able to answer your questions directly. Okay, Well, feel free to ask your questions throughout the program. I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint slide. And so I would like to, though, so this is one of those that I gave you a heads up on. This is one of the times when I would like to find out, who do we have joining us tonight? Do we have people who are currently enrolled in the program, consultants for our program, or people about joining the program? If you could take just a second and either put that in the chat line or go ahead and unmute yourself, I would love to hear, and others would love to hear it as well. Let us know who is joining us this evening. So much better when we all share with one another. It's just a less monotonous with not just my voice that's on there. All right, well, as you are working up the courage to join us and let us know about that, I will come back in here and we will get started a little bit on this part of the program, which is really to talk about our grade-specific webinars. Like I said, these are a fairly new resource that we just started in June. So we've just finished our second full month of grade-specific webinars. These happen every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and each week is dedicated to a different grade level. So the first Wednesday of the month is for our freshmen and high school students. The second Wednesday is for the sophomores. The third Wednesday is for the juniors, and the fourth Wednesday is reserved for our seniors. What's really important to know is that these scheduled programs happen at 7 p.m. or structured programs happen at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on every Wednesday. But what's really cool about it is that we also open that same Zoom meeting link up. So it's a Zoom meeting just like this. We open that up for a question and answer session for families, parents, students, and consultants at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So the person who has been hosting those events, which is our Dean of Education, Constance Seiden, she has been opening that up and really getting some great questions, whether it's specific to the grade that we're focusing on that night, or you just have a question that you would like to get answered. It's a really great way to get some more of that one-on-one individual attention. Make sure that you can articulate what your question is, and others, what I always tell people is that if you have that question, it's pretty likely that other people have that as well. So you're really doing a favor, not only to yourself, but to your fellow people who are on that webinar with you, as well as whoever the moderator is. It's always great to have an interaction with people on the webinars. And so it's a really great opportunity to do that. And so really what these grade-specific webinars are, again, it's hosted by our Dean of Education's Constance Seiden. We are going to have some not new coaches, but new faces to these webinars, people who are a part of our coaching team in some way, shape, or form, joining us and hosting some of these grade-specific webinars over the next couple of months, bringing some additional faces to the program, some more points of view, things like that. Constance obviously does a really fantastic job with that, and we just want to widen our scope of who we are having answering the questions and presenting the materials. These webinars are, again, each week is focused on a different grade level, and so each grade level only has one of these webinars every month, and it is based on the monthly recommendations. And those recommendations are based on, like the video alluded to, it is based on the student's year in school as well as what time it is in the calendar year. So kind of those best practices that drive what students should be thinking about what's coming up for them in high school or college. We also talk about and refer to Cooter. For those of you who are not familiar with this, or it is a refresher for you, Cooter is a platform that we use that houses our assessments, and those assessments, again, referred to in the video, are the basis, one of the foundational pieces that we use as coaches for to work with our students. And so it's where we house those assessments, and then it's also where, based on how students respond to those assessments, they're going to get access to information on suggested careers, suggested majors that support those careers, and schools that have those majors. It's important to know with Cooter that regardless of how students or users respond to those questions or those assessments, they are not excluded from any information. They have access to all of that. But what it really does is give them a way to filter that. So we talk through that. And again, based on the year that the student is in school, some of this is going to make a little bit more sense to them or not. And so, you know, with our seniors, we're obviously getting ready. We're gearing up for application season. And so we're really focusing hard on that. And for our younger students, we're really focusing on, okay, here are some suggested careers. How can we get more information on that so you can start making some informed decisions when it comes to your classes and your types of volunteering and things like that. So it really is a really, really very rich platform. And so we touch on that in these webinars as well. And again, it's really a great opportunity for students to interact with one another as well as the coach or the dean who is hosting that program. I had the opportunity to join, I've done a couple of our freshman webinars over the last couple of months or been a part of that. And I was really, really impressed with how our younger students really engaged in that, where they were sharing information with one another. They were asking questions of the dean and really becoming engaged. And this past week, I had the opportunity to jump on and be a part of the senior webinar, and I was blown away. I was blown away with the level of engagement from students, with how many students and their families were on there, the really great questions that they were asking both live as well as in the chat line. And so they were really learning from one another and bouncing ideas off of one another. Again, if one person has that question, another person is going to have something similar. So it's a really great way for them to learn from one another and just get an additional one-on-one attention, get more of that information, some in-depth information based on that monthly recommendation. Obviously, our coaches are always available to work with their students either via email or to schedule a Zoom or a phone call, but this is just another way that the program really helps students dive deep into what they could be focusing on, or really finding out what kind of burning questions that they have that may be outside of the monthly recommendations. We often have questions like that that really create a really rich discussion. So just a quick review of what we covered in July. What we covered really with our freshman students was really focusing on that college savings plan, both some of those formal ones with the 529, that's a specific college account, or your more traditional, creating a savings account at your local bank or federal credit union. It's never too early to start focusing on your resume, and we talk through, here are some of the ways that you can do that. Again, Cooter is a great place to get that going. Obviously, you're not maybe have as much as you are, you know, when you're a freshman as when you're a junior or senior, but if you get that template down now, you'll see one where you have gaps and you can figure that out of how you want to fill that in. And two, you're not then later on thinking about, how do I format this? And what did I do when I was in 9th or 10th grade? So you're starting to build these materials early on, and the earlier the better. And again, these students are getting ready to start high school. For most of our students who are starting the 9th grade or going into their freshman year, it's a brand new school. That's not the case for everywhere in the country, but by and large, it's going to be a new school. It's a new environment, new people coming in, and so how can you prepare for that? It's a new set of teachers, classes, all of that. We want students to keep their brains strong. We want them to prepare for high school, keep reading, doing puzzles, really flexing that brain muscle, and thinking about what do they want to do when they get into high school. For our sophomores, in addition to what we talked about with our freshman students, we're also focusing on any students who think that they may want to be a student athlete in college. There are some eligibility requirements that they will need to meet, and this is really the time when a lot of those resources become available to them. We start focusing a little bit more on that career focus and doing that research. Again, as our students age up, you'll see similar themes that we talk about with each grade dependent upon the time of year, but how in-depth we get with that is going to depend on how much experience these students have. And again, these grade-specific webinars really give us an opportunity, not only as coaches who work with the students one-on-one, but it also helps our students to kind of level up. If they're hearing about a sophomore student who has been regularly involved in volunteering, or is taking maybe AP classes or things that some of our students may have thought were out of their reach, it really is another way for them to start thinking about what their options are. And so for our juniors, one of the main things that we're really talking about is really preparing for a year from now in thinking about which schools they're going to apply to. And one of the best ways to determine which schools you would like to apply to and eventually attend is getting on campus. And so this will be a recurring theme that you are going to be seeing. And again, this is open to all of our students. Most colleges and universities do not have any restrictions on who can come to their visit programs. So if you as a freshman and sophomore want to go to campus, please do so. The earlier you start that, the more schools you can visit. But we really want to make sure that our juniors are doing that, as well as exploring those college majors, because that's going to drive which schools that they are looking at. We're also talking about test prep, really looking at the PSAT that's going to be happening in the fall of junior year, as well as the SAT and ACT or ACT that they will be taking typically in the spring of their junior year. Now, there are some students out there who have taken these tests previously, and that works out just fine. What's really important to know, and I'll talk about this because we're really focusing on this in August as well, is really looking at taking that PSAT in fall of your junior year, because then that makes you, it determines your eligibility for National Merit Scholarship. So timing does really make a difference. And we've also really talked about how to leverage your summer activities. A lot of times our juniors are students who have aged into the ability to have jobs, to more volunteer opportunities are opening up to them based on their age. They have a slightly better idea of what they want to be doing next steps. And so how do we leverage those summer activities, again, focusing on that resume. And for our seniors, it's really, we are coming into the busy season of applications. And so what system are they using to track their applications and their scholarships? Talking to them about the deadlines and how to manage all of the pieces that go into that, as well as, again, they're aging into more scholarship opportunities that are going to be available to them. So making sure that they are researching that, looking at military options for students who may be interested in that. And then really looking at that social media. It's not just something that you as parents or educators or consultants are telling them. We want to reiterate that and drive that home, that as we are getting into the time of really very heavy applications, that's a part of what a lot of colleges and universities do, is they will do a quick Google search or a web search or Facebook or Instagram or, you know, other social media that may be available to them. And so it's really important for any of our students, but specifically those who are applying for college or university admission as well as scholarships, to get that cleaned up. So that was a fast and furious review of what we focused on in July. Before I give you the fast and furious preview of what we're talking about in August, I'm curious if there are any questions that I can answer for anyone. I think if I jump out here, I can see the chat line better if people have any questions. So any questions on what I have covered so far? Okay. Well, again, here are some of the August previews. What I think is really exciting, specifically for our freshmen and sophomore, is that we are in the process of developing a presentation for these younger students on how to fund college and how to really make that, make a difference for them. Oftentimes students start thinking, oh, this doesn't really make a difference to me until I'm a junior or a senior, which is simply not true. There are some things that you can do on, again, those college savings plans, how to put more money into that. Are there some strategies for that? And then specifically, around the idea of the federal financial aid, which is not available that, excuse me, um, had quite a dry patch there. But the FAFSA, which is the application for the federal financial aid, does become available to students on October 1st of their senior year. So sometimes our students and families aren't thinking about it until that point in time. Well, there are some things that you can do with your funds to maximize your eligibility for FAFSA funds. And so we are going to talk about that with our freshmen and sophomores on their grade-specific webinars this month. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, scholarships and grants are going to play a big role in that, but it just simply doesn't cover everything. So we want to start talking about the importance of looking for scholarships now, even if you're unable to or ineligible to apply because maybe there's a grade specific piece of that. It's really important to start getting the hang of that, knowing what you're looking for, understanding how to do those searches. So then when you do become eligible, the learning curve is really, really short for you, and you can go and do that right away. So again, some of the things for our freshmen is looking at their class plans, their extracurriculars, thinking about how they want to get involved in their new community. For our sophomores, in addition to those pieces, it's again focusing on those resumes. What extracurriculars are they going to continue from the year before, or what extracurriculars are they going to take on? And are there opportunities to take on leadership positions? Leadership does not always mean the president or in charge of. What it really means is having a deeper, more meaningful experience in an organization, whether it's planning an event, serving as a secretary, or the understudy in the school play, or something along those lines, dependent upon what's available to them. So really helping them to figure out what they want to do and how to get more experiences in that. And then for our juniors, again, it's those campus visits. This is, our colleges and universities are gearing up on campus for their classes to start, for their new students to come onto campus. And then they're also then going to be gearing up for admissions season. So get onto campus. Schedule those visits when they come to your high school. Admissions counselors often will come to different high schools, so check with your local high school guidance counselor on what those are. It gives you an opportunity to either attend a presentation with a number of people in your high school, maybe get a one-on-one opportunity to work with them, as well as some college fairs that are going to be in your area. Again, that PSAT test prep, determining your eligibility for the National Merit Scholarship. And what it really does is give you a better benchmark, a more realistic, more timely benchmark for how you may perform on the SAT or ACT when you take that in spring of that same year, in junior year. Again, some of our students take these earlier, and that's perfectly fine. Make sure that you're working with your coach on what that timing looks like and what scores you are reaching for, because what this PSAT test really will do is give you a pretty good indicator of how you're going to perform on those tests. And so then that will help you develop an individualized test prep plan. And again, for our seniors, we are in the midst of it. We are getting into application season. Many, not all, but many college and university applications open up on August 1st, which is on Thursday of this week, which is crazy. And so we want to make sure that students are using a system that works for them on tracking of applications, of those deadlines. What types of materials are due for those applications? Oftentimes you're looking at letters of recommendation, resumes, essays, sometimes multiple essays. And so making sure that you know when all of those pieces are due so you can work with the end in mind. So you're not scrambling at the last minute to get a letter of recommendation from someone or to finalize an essay. We do offer essay reviews. That is part of our program. That's part of your enrollment or renewal fee with the program. And so that's important to work with your coach on getting those reviewed in a timely fashion so you can make sure that what you are turning in is the best possible material that you can. And we also start working with our students, or continue working with our students, on scholarship search and application. Again, a lot of our students, when they hit their junior year and definitely their senior year, they're going to age into eligibility for scholarships. And so we want to make sure that they are looking for and applying for at least 2 scholarships, if not more, a month. Woo! That is a lot of information. And really, that was one of the driving forces behind why we moved to these grade-specific webinars, and why we started including that for our students, is because there really is so much in each of our grade levels that makes a difference. So in addition to the monthly recommendation emails, the check-in emails, the conversational emails and or phone calls, Zoom meetings that our coaches have, we also are now offering these grade-specific webinars that are focused on that specific grade, really diving into what questions they have, what they can learn from one another. We're really very excited about this addition to the program. So before I get into how you can enroll if you are not currently enrolled, I'm curious, what questions do you have for me? Either something that you came into this presentation wanting to know, or based on what I've shared that you would like to know. Go ahead and unmute yourself, or you can put it in the chat line. So as you were thinking of those really great questions, again, if you have a question, I can guarantee that other people have that question as well. If you are not currently enrolled in the program and are looking for an opportunity to do so, this is a great time to do that. We are offering a discount right now. If you enroll by August 15th, by midnight, by 11:59 p.m. on August 15th, using the discount code AUGCCP, stands for August College Coaching Program, so AUGCCP, you can enroll in the program for a discounted cost of $2,600. The current cost, the regular price is $26.95, and every dollar makes a difference, right? And so we want to make this easier for you to enroll in the program. So again, if you enroll by August 15th at 11:59 p.m. using the discount code AUGCCP, you can get into the program, you can enroll in the program for the discounted cost of $2,600. And I will repeat that again before I sign off for this evening as well. This is a little of our contact information. Probably most important to note our email down here, hyphecpp@hyphe-usa.org. If there's any questions that you have after the program tonight that I'm not able to answer or comes up later on, that's going to be your best email to send that question to. That will then get filtered to the right staff member to be able to either get on the phone with you or to be able to answer that question right away via email. So again, it's hyphecpp@hyphe-usa.org. Something to keep in mind, if you do give us a call at 303-597-0197, we are located in the Rocky Mountain region, so we are Mountain Standard Time, which for those of you who are doing some mental time gymnastics, it's currently 7:38 in the Mountain Time Zone. So however that translates to where you are. So just keep that in mind if you are giving us a call. So with that being said, let me see what questions you all have that I can answer for you tonight. Again, just go ahead and unmute yourself, or you can put it in the chat line. I know I'm a pretty good presenter and cover a lot of things, but I am sure that there are questions that people have out there. Some of them, feel free to interrupt me. I'm going to give you some of the information that we often get from programs like this and from other participants is what happens when they enroll in the program. And so what happens is a student will enroll in the program. It goes through our Dean of Education. She will assign an individual coach to that student, and they will then begin working together. Primarily, we communicate through email. It's easiest to be able to send resources, send links, all of those types of things. And we are happy to get on the phone or do a Zoom meeting like this if that's necessary. Typically, we can accomplish quite a bit with email and things like that, given that students, I always tell students, I'm like, I probably wake up earlier than you, and you probably stay up a lot later than I do. Time zone differences, those types of things. And again, the sharing of resources, we typically do that through email, but are always available to get on a call. And so that's going to be on a coach dependent basis. Another question we get is how many students are on a caseload for a coach. And so currently each of our coaches has on average about 65 students that are on their caseload. So they really are getting that one-on-one attention that they are looking for and deserve. It's a great complement to what is going on in your local high school, in your area, what your guidance counselors are offering. And so it's a really great complement to that. And now with the even greater addition of our grade specific webinars, our students are getting even more bang for their buck, if you will, on the recommendations on and how that translates to them. So those are some of the questions that people usually have about enrolling in the program. What can I answer for all of you, or what concerns do you have that I can help address this evening? So again, those of you who are interested in enrolling, if you do so by August 15th, you can get that for a discounted rate of $2,600. You do that using the discount code AUGCCP. So again, AUGCCP, it stands for August College Coaching Program. So pretty simple there, but sometimes the context helps. So again, AUGCCP for that discounted code. And if you are looking to send an email, or you have any questions about anything I covered this evening, or something that comes up for you later on, you can give us, send us an email at hifecpp@hife-usa.org. So that's HIFECPP at hife-usa.org. We would love to hear from you, get you connected with the right staff member for your questions. So last call for any questions or concerns that you all may have. Certainly don't need to keep talking at you. So much goes on in the summer. I really appreciate you all taking your time to join me and to join one another on this program this evening. For those of you who may want access to this later or would like to share this with other people, we are recording this particular webinar tonight. So if you have any questions about that, consultants who are on, you will have access to that in your consultant portal. If anyone else has any questions about that, feel free again to send an email to that hifecpp@hife-usa.org, and we will be able to send out a link to this for you to be able to review or to share with others. So if there aren't any other questions or concerns, I am going to sign off and wish you a very happy Tuesday. We host these family nights on the last Tuesday of every month, again at 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We would love to have you join us. Please share this with your friends or with anyone else that you would like to just share the information around college coaching. We would love to talk with you then. I hope you all have a very, very good evening, and I will see you soon.